In January of 1962, on the wild Big Sur coast of California, something new was born. An institute dedicated to the realization of an ancient and irrepressible dream, that the limits of human ability lie beyond the boundaries of our imagination, that each of us achieves only a fraction of what is ours to achieve. It was on this lovely plot of land on the edge of a continent that Michael Murphy's family had built their vacation retreat in the 1930s. Murphy, who had spent 18 months at the Aurobindo ashram in India, talked his parents into letting him and his fellow Stanford graduate Richard Price use this property for what was to become Esalen Institute. Both were inspired not only by Aurobindo's evolutionary vision, but also by British intellectual Aldous Huxley's ideas on untapped human potentialities.
In 1962, a new vision of human possibilities was in the air, and we thought this would be a good place to celebrate it. Various philosophers, psychologists, religious thinkers had various perspectives on this, and we started to write to them. And to our amazement, everybody wanted to lead a seminar here, it seemed. And before long, many of the leaders of this emerging vision were doing programs here. One of them said, "We raised a flag and they rallied to the cause."
People flocked to Esalen to hear these eminent speakers. But soon, a new kind of program evolved. Instead of listening to lectures, some participants began experimenting with what philosopher Huxley called the non-verbal humanities, the education of the body, the senses, the emotions. By the late 60s, Esalen's pioneering workshops and transformative ideas were attracting national and international attention. Some 300,000 people have participated in a wide variety of Esalen's programs at Big Sur, but its influence has reached far beyond the California coast. As early as 1967, the Ford Foundation funded an Esalen project that joined cognitive with emotional education. Esalen's integration of mind, body, and spirit profoundly influenced the fields not only of education and psychology, but also medicine, sports, and international relations, helping to catalyze what came to be called citizens' diplomacy. Beginning in 1982, Esalen launched a series of meetings between Soviet and American citizens. Diplomats from both sides sought Esalen's advice in the cause of peace. In 1989, Esalen brought Boris Yeltsin to the U.S. for the first time, taking him on a history-making tour of the country. The effect on Yeltsin was dramatic. He returned home resolved to end communism in Russia.
Esalen Institute is absolutely essential to the cultivation and nurturing of new ideas within our culture. In so many areas it has made contributions in the areas of holistic medicine, the human potential movement, humanistic psychology, something like alternative and complementary medicine 40 years ago was considered complete heresy, and today you can read about it on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. These ideas wouldn't have happened if Esalen weren't there to cultivate and nurture the opportunity to think in ways that were completely original. And at no time is this kind of nurturing environment more important than it is today.
From the beginning, Esalen has aimed at taking down fences and building bridges between mind and body, east and west, black and white, physics and mysticism, technology and the soul. In forming all its programs, there exists at Esalen a belief in the natural right of everyone on this planet to realize his or her potential to learn, to love, to feel deeply, and to create.
The land here is incredibly rich. This is soil that at one time was under the ocean.
Steve Beck has been in charge of Esalen's garden and farm since 1974. The Institute's dedication to ecology dates back to 1963.
With a year-round stream of spring water, with hot water coming out of the ground at about 115 degrees that is used for the baths and for heating the swimming pool and some of the buildings. It's just a very, very rich ground and forms the basis for all of the work that we do here. We're surrounded at all times of the year, whether it's raining or sunny or foggy, by such incredible beauty that it helps to make us more aware of our own humanness.
By the time it celebrated its 30th anniversary in 1992, Esalen was well known as a respected American institution, attracting participants from all over the world. By the late 1990s, Esalen was preparing to enter the new millennium as a unique and irreplaceable laboratory of the human spirit. Then the unexpected. In February of 1998, El Niño struck, bringing torrential rains with winds gusting to more than 100 miles an hour. Trees were toppled, windows broken, roofs caved in.
The El Niño storms almost ended Esalen. The baths were destroyed, many of the buildings were destroyed, others were damaged, the highways were closed, the seminars ended, we were closed for 3 months, and the Board of Trustees had to decide whether we could continue or not. George Leonard, our president, said a great thing at one of our meetings, said, let's take the hit as a gift, and that's what we've done. We've decided to take this tremendous challenge as an opportunity to grow. We've never had more opportunity than today. The programs have never been this fertile. The experiment, the exploration we started 40 years ago is still burgeoning, and this, we decided, was a tremendous chance to start again.
The people of Esalen have grasped the opportunity. Building on nearly 4 decades of experience, the Institute is now resolved to create a world model for harmonious land usage and energy conservation, while advancing its creative programming and innovative thinking. This major redevelopment plan will be implemented over a 10-year period, starting with a new Esalen Welcome Center for guest check-in, which will include a bookstore and administrative services. A new parking system will isolate automobiles away from sleeping and meeting facilities, making it possible to convert presently paved areas to footpaths, gardens, and lawns. Sleeping and working spaces for workshop participants and staff will be upgraded. Many will be replaced by solar-oriented, energy-conserving structures. There will be a few rooms more upscale than those presently available, balanced by a significant number of new, low-cost bunk bed accommodations. Currently in the design stage are a new meditation hall and a library with a comprehensive electronic archive. A state-of-the-art media studio will allow Esalen to share its frontier work with the world. A Design with Nature Fund will ensure that all new construction will be designed to merge with the natural splendor of Big Sur, using solar power and geothermal heat from Esalen's abundant natural hot springs wherever possible, along with an innovative, environment-friendly wastewater treatment system. Located on the same spectacular site as the baths destroyed by El Niño, Esalen's new natural hot mineral baths are nearing completion. Their extraordinary design promises to become world-renowned. Local universities will be invited to use Esalen as a study place for natural species preservation and a model test site for ecological innovation. Aided by some of the world's foremost energy conservation and sustainable design experts and architects, Esalen will become a living laboratory for ecological research and practice. Esalen's redevelopment plan aims at renewing every aspect of the Institute's operations, including extensive new program initiatives, as well as endowment and scholarship funds. Capital and operating reserve funds will also be created to strengthen Esalen's financial future. The Esalen Center for Theory and Research, started by Michael Murphy and George Leonard shortly after the El Niño disaster, has become a think tank involving leading experts around the world for exploring such frontier subjects as evolutionary theory, technology and the soul, survival of bodily death, and integral economics.
Leaves us with a lot of cognitive processes, as he puts it, in the dark.
Funding opportunities for CTR will ensure that this unique inquiry will continue to offer creative alternative views on the physical and spiritual crises now facing humanity.
As you can see, we're losing some of these magnificent cypress trees. They're 110, 120 years old. During the El Niño storm, we lost several of them. In the great universities of the world and other organizations that have a long history, they anticipate this and will plant rows of trees to take the place of the old beauties. That's what we're doing now. These are 2 years old, this is 4 years old, and when these great trees finally go, these are going to be here to take their place. This is a symbol that we want to be here 40 years from now, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, and for this we need your help.